Good people of YouTube, my name is Spanner. Welcome back for some more Deathgate. So, Lord Zar and Sangdrax are inside of this cave here, however, it is guarded by a Chayudin. Oh, I just had an idea. When I saw the arrow here, we don't have a bow, but we have a curved bone, and we just got a cord. Ha! You tie the ends of the elastic tendon to the arched bone. The result is a serviceable bow, however primitive. And remember, this arrow has magic that when you strike the target, it will never miss. There doesn't seem to be a suitable place to put the bow on the arrow. The arrow on the bow. You slide the arrow alongside the bow to check for compatibility and find that it's just about the right size. The bow is very primitive, and you don't think that it can provide much accuracy, but at least it can propel the arrow with some force. Satisfied, you replace both in your inventory. Yeah, I was getting a bit frustrated because we have all of these items that we found once and never got to use, and it's about time, really. I mean, we still had the Zinger, we had this arrow for ages. Shoot the arrow at the Chayudin. With amazing accuracy, far more than you would have expected from such a primitive bow, you loose the arrow at the monster. The arrow penetrates straight through its heart and the beast falls dead before a drop of its blood can fall. Unfortunately, the arrow has buried itself so deeply into the creature it can't be retrieved. We still have... Oh, I can't pull it free. That's a shame. I mean, it's still there. I would assume we could take it, and we still have a bow. Well, let's go into the cave. We know what to do if we have to do this again. You walk toward the cave, but the familiar wave of fear washes over you. The leaden weight of terror pulls you to your knees. You can't force yourself to enter the opening. How did Lord Zar resist this? Or maybe the dragon only now released his aura of fear? Okay, let's drink some more of this null water. And into the cave. Here is Sangdrax. Stalagmites and stalactites with knife-sharp edges stipple the cave. In the midst of them, Sangdrax waits patiently for you. Here, crush the stone. You press on the stone and it collapses in the palm of your hand like a wad of paper. The green glow explodes around you, blinding you. When the spinning colors fade, you see that somehow the stone has summoned Zifnab, mounted atop his dragon. You're so stunned by the sight that you drop the bottle you carry to the cave floor, where it shatters. Well, we lost one more item. Sangdrax hisses with anger and disbelief. His fury takes control and, lightning quick, he lashes out at the pair. He tries to bury his fangs into the neck of the new dragon, to inject his deadly venom into its body, but Zifnab's dragon is too fast. He rakes a claw across Sangdrax's face and forces him back into the cave wall. The impact shakes the cave and stuns Sangdrax. The good dragon takes the opportunity to place Zifnab out of harm's way, but Sangdrax springs up and pounces while the other dragon's back is turned. His back claws rip through the thin membrane covering the good dragon's wings. When the good dragon finally forces Sangdrax away, he is left with strips of loose flesh hanging from the bone that once supported his glorious wings. He retreats from Sangdrax, dragging his wings and leaving a trail of blood behind him. Sangdrax laughs and positions himself for the death blow. Sangdrax leaps, but Zifnab's dragon dives beneath the attack. Less wounded than he appeared to be, he sinks his teeth into Sangdrax's exposed underbelly and tears a sizable chunk of flesh from his chest. Sangdrax screams and races away from the fight towards the back of the cave. He sinks into the darkness until all you see are the two red glowing eyes.
You haven't beaten me. When I've led Zar to the Vortex, he'll reform the world and this place will be no more. I don't think you'll survive, but if somehow you do, we'll meet again, and then I'll have my revenge.
The red eyes wink out and Sangdrax is gone. The dragon's beauty is marred by horrible red wounds along his back. His eyes are half-lidded, not in sleep this time, but in pain. We no longer have the healing salve.
And I was just getting into the shower. You call it the most inopportune time, Taplow. You've a knack for getting into trouble, my boy, and this is a doozy. My. Face to face with the embodiment of evil. You've had a full day. And look what happened to my dragon. I'm afraid this is going to have to come out of your security deposit.
That's all the rock did? Summon you here?
What did you expect it to do? Wasn't that enough? I think that I did a mite better than you would have in this fight. Well, I did have a little help. Nonetheless, we saved your bacon, and I think we deserve a little gratitude.
My thanks, Zipnab. I appreciate your help.
Of course you do. It's always nice to have the side of good rescue you from certain death. Every time it happens to me, I get goosebumps. There's nothing better, I tell you, except maybe a really good pastrami sandwich with extra mayo.
Is your dragon all right?
He doesn't look good. Sangdrax did quite a job on his wings. He got his comeuppance, though. Did you see those wounds on his face and chest? Those will smart for a few hundred years, mark my words. He won't even be able to change form to heal them. When you get wounds like that, they stay for dinner.
Where did the evil dragon go?
He slipped out the portal. You see, thousands of years ago, Sama hid the magic portal to the Vortex in the labyrinth, here in this cave to be exact. He figured that it would be the safest place to do so. No one would come back into the labyrinth to find it. The portal leads directly to the outskirts of the Vortex. We must assume that Sangdrax has already escorted Zar there. In fact, they'll probably go directly to the floating island. Very soon, Zar will begin the Reformation unless we stop him.
What do we do now?
Well, that's simple. We go after him. We have to stop him before he leads Zar to the center of the Vortex. They have all of the seal pieces which you were so kind as to supply, so nothing stands in the way of the Reformation. Whenever you're ready, I'll take us through the portal to the Vortex.
All right, I'm ready to go. Take us through, Zipnab.
Very well. Climb up on my dragon and I'll take us all through. My dragon is wounded, Mr. Insensitive. Why don't you get rid of some of that heavy junk that you've been toting around? It'll make the trip that much easier for him.
With a shrug, you go through your belongings and toss aside everything that appears useless. After you're done, Zipnab doesn't say anything more about it, so you guess that you've offloaded enough. You and Zipnab mount the wounded dragon. Zipnab traces a complex spell which grows to a glowing hoop in space, large enough even to accommodate the dragon. Painfully, the dragon steps through, and a thunderclap later, you arrive at the edge of the vortex. Okay, so... really, this cloth is not useless? This sledge looks over the swirling vortex. Somewhere in the mist, an island floats above the center.
An impressive sight, don't you think? Hasn't changed a whit since the old days. Actually, after the initial shock of being in another reality wears off, it's kind of boring. There's that horizon that goes on forever and the sinkhole, that's pretty much it. No continents, no convenience stores, nothing.
You were here before? Does that mean you were on the original council?
I never said that. I think Sama sent me a picture postcard that said, "My esteemed leader went to the Vortex and all I got was this lousy postcard." The picture was really nice, though. It really did this place justice. It must have had, 256 colors.
Where are Zar and Sangdrax?
Isn't it obvious? They're on the island floating over the sinkhole. Even now they are preparing for the Reformation. It shouldn't be long until they start the process.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's follow them.
It's not that simple. They had all of the seal pieces, so they were able to use the magic platform. That's how the council members transported themselves over in the first place. The world seal, or in this case all of the pieces, are set upon the platform. It automatically takes anyone standing there over to the island. Since we don't have the seal pieces, we can't follow them.
What about those stone things that kind of look like paths? They reach almost all the way to the island. Can we follow them?
Very good, Haplo. You're very quick. Those stone things are indeed known as the paths. We Sartan introduced the island to the Vortex. When we did so, we flawed the perfect magic that existed here. The reaction rippled through the reality. Other flaws began to appear. They manifested themselves as the paths. The paths are made of wild magic, chaotic magic. They are unpredictable. They are even dangerous, but they are the only way to the island left to us. You can use them, but you must be aware of a few things. First, you must travel alone. I cannot go with you. Never has a journey succeeded when there was more than one participant. Second, the wild magic may manifest in other strange ways while you walk the paths. I can't tell you what you might experience. It's different for every traveler. Simply beware and be careful.
What will I do if I get to the island? I don't have a magic stone to defeat Sangdrax anymore.
You want me to tell you everything? Maybe you should try thinking on your feet. Well, my guess is that Sangdrax has probably taken your form to lead Tsar through the Reformation. If you catch up with him, you'll have to convince Tsar that you're really you. Then you'll have to convince him not to go through with the Reformation. As for Sangdrax, well, he probably won't like you interfering, so he might try to kill you. Don't let that stop you, though. Get in there, Slugger. The whole team's behind you. Way behind you.
I'd better get to work. Time is running out.
That's true. You'd better get going. I wish I had some popcorn. This is gonna be some show.
All right. It's time to end this, I think.
What did you expect to happen? Without the seal pieces, it doesn't do anything. Unless you were going up there to give a speech. In that case, proceed.
Yeah, it doesn't work. I was wondering if there was any way to produce seal pieces, but probably not. So let's go. You are on one of the magic paths. A stone arch looms ahead. Beyond it stands someone who looks exactly like you. The other Haplo simply repeats everything you say at the same time you say it. Actually, it's pretty annoying. As you try to pass through the arch, your double does the same thing. You end up bumping into each other and no one gets anywhere. I wonder... We do have this self-immolation spell. But this will probably just kill us. I'll try it anyway, I mean, we just saved. Like an artist, you carefully draw the rune structure in the air. It floats close and slips inside your chest. Instantly, it feels as if your heart has caught fire. You scream and scream until the fire eats away your lungs and throat. After that, you don't have much to scream about or with. Maybe it's an illusion? You trace the rune structure into the air. As soon as you complete it, the spell races towards your double, but stops and dissolves as it passes through the arch. Something about the arch keeps the magic from reaching him. You cannot directly cast a spell on your double. Your double traces the same spell in the air but reversed like a mirror. The spell he tries to cast isn't real, so it doesn't work. So it wouldn't work anyway. A stone arch separates you and your double. You stand on one side and he on the other. Can I use the shear on the arch? No. Is it magical? Something about this arch stops all magic spells from passing. It doesn't hamper the movement of physical objects, it simply prevents you from directly casting spells upon your double. Your double traces the same spell in the air, it casts successfully, and his expression is thoughtful as he ponders the results. Sheer on the double? No. He holds the same sheer though. Can I move closer? No. What is this crystal fragment again? It has the naming rune for the world of stone. Can I cast a spell on the arch? I was thinking about using self-immolation, but to make the double cast self-immolation on him as well. What about swap? Or motion probably does not work on the arch. It's not a humanoid. This probably won't work, but let's try swap. I mean, the arch prevents magic from reaching the double, but this one requires physical contact, so maybe it will work. No. Bow on the double. Can talk to, follow path, no. So something to do with the arch. And the arch does not budge. This is the naming rune of Arianas. Naming rune of Priyan is on one of these books. The naming rune of Abarak. How do I get rid of you? What spells can I cast on myself? What motion? Probably does not work. I mean, the spell he casts is not real, so it will not work anyway. The double copies my action exactly. What kind of action can I take? Hunger, ward, possession, transportation, motion, swap, shard of darkness, reality pocket, rune transfer, heat and cold. I'm not sure. Alright, I had to look at the walkthrough for this. Apparently I was correct with the self-immolation, but I did not account for the fact that this is mirrored. I kept thinking that Haplo kept saying that the spell is not real. So I thought since he's a double, he can't cast real spells because he's not magical. So it's this rune, it's the swirly, and then this one. And I already forgot. think it was this one, the swirl, and this. Yeah, so this is not a valid spell. But the top and the runes on the top and bottom will be the same, but the double will cast them reversed, so the left and right will swap places. You cast the nonsense spell into the air. Of course, this spell does nothing, but your double casts the spell's mirror image. This does happen to be a real spell, yeah. In fact, the spell that he casts is self-immolation. It dives into his body and burns it into ashes. His clothes and possessions fall to the ground. Yeah, I did not realize that the spells were not working because they were reversed. Let's search. You search through your double's remains and discover duplicates of everything that you carry. You talk to yourself, literally, since the other you isn't talking back. Can I take the ashy remains? No, okay, let's move forwards. Grayish-green slimy tentacles snake out from somewhere below the path. They twitch and reach out for you. Oh, we have a lot of items now. Tentacles. I suppose I can just go forwards. A tentacle whips out from under the path, wraps around your leg and tugs at it. You feel you might be able to pull away, but if you move forward, you'll enter a whole nest of them. We have so many books! Can I use the shear? You saw away with the rusty garden shear blade. It cuts into the tentacle wrapped around you, ichor spurts everywhere, but most of the tentacle remains. You continue to saw at the tentacle. You're making progress, but it's still intact. Another tentacle wraps around you. It's getting harder to resist their pull. Can I freeze them, perhaps? Sorry, that only works on one kind of riding tentacles. Boy, there sure seem to be a lot of them around here. Here, have a bow. The tentacles would much rather have you instead. Another tentacle wraps around you. It's getting harder to resist their pull. Let's go back. Can I take this? Can I cast motion on this? Probably not. It's worth a shot. Yeah, I wonder because it said that the tentacles would much rather have you instead. So I have duplicate items. How would I deal with the tentacles? Maybe a simple heat spell? I'm not sure. I mean, I keep cutting them, but it doesn't work. Let's try cutting before they... No noticeable damage. Rusty garden shears. Are the items the same? The connecting bolt sticks out. Huh. Wait, I have two now. The connecting bolt sticks out of the center. Ah! You knock out the connecting bolt from one of the blades and slap them both together. The result is a complete set of garden shears. Maybe it will work now? Miss completely. Cut. Okay. Maybe when they're closer? Aha! With a quick snip you cut the tentacle away, but another whips out to wrap around you. I'll cut this one too. And that one. With a quick snip you cut the tentacle away. The ichor-covered stump draws back under the path along with the remainder of the tentacles. The creature has evidently had enough. Okay, another challenge. Done. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for now, so thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed some more Deathgate, and as usual, don't miss the next episode, because I won't. I will see you all next time.